We're
Tell me,
live. I don't know what it's set up at. There we go. We're live.
welcome to Entertainment is Dead. This is the late old man edition where we have lots of excellent energy for the show.
So much
Great.
energy for
Bursting
days.
out of my ears.
So much hype.
I'm really excited. Yes!
Is it nap time?
All right. That's actually just
I think Arthur is like framed up in the sleepiest way possible. Like he just looks so ready to sleep, so peaceful, so serene.
You gave him an hour to drink, Steve. That's what we did. We started the show an hour late, and we are here to talk about some things. So
Things.
Let's do the thing.
off, I'm gonna do the regular introductions. We got Tom Winkley. Yeah.
Oh right, this is an audio too. Hi everybody.
I've got Arthur returning back. Shout out to Grumble Mountain.
Thanks, buddy.
We're going to be on their cast on Saturday. Check us out there. We're going to talk about Spank Banks, but not Spank Banks.
Childhood crushes.
Childhood
Will lead into
crushes,
Spank Banks.
AKA Spank Banks. So we're going to do that on Saturday. Tom's probably going to be there. I think he's going to be there. I think he should come.
Probably.
But,
Tom should go.
I'll probably
Yes.
make it
yeah, just don't say anything. It'll get your wife hitting
because
you.
she listens to all the things I do.
No, she doesn't.
Yeah,
What
she
girl?
still loves you.
Nobody's girlfriends do that. And the reason that we were so late, holding a baby in his arms to get away from any kind of punishment. Hey, I'm late, but I'm holding a baby, so I'm okay.
It's super effective.
Parental responsibility. It's super
parental-
effective. Not being a
Yes.
shitty parent.
Yeah.
Plus 10 points.
Yes.
Plus 10 to good guy score.
Yes.
Plus 10 to brownie points. Steve,
It's like one of those church ads they used to play on TV in Utah when I was a kid.
the church used to have ads?
It's about family. Pass it on.
Time.
Yeah, do you remember those?
Oh,
Well-
yeah.
Were the ads to convince people to join the church?
They were like about like not being a shitty parent, and they were like
Oh.
PSAs for being like a decent human being.
They're like, P.S. Don't beat your children.
Yeah, so like I would watch like Arthur, yeah, you know, because that fucking guy was awesome. You know what I'm talking about? The little like mole rat guy that
Yeah,
had
this
all
guy-
the
this guy
rabbit
right here?
friends.
Yeah.
Maybe he's
Yeah.
up here. Or
Yeah.
over here.
And on the commercials it would be like, "Hey Dad, let's go play some catch." "Okay, son." And they throw the ball and be like, "Family, it's about time." And as a kid, I was like, "Why doesn't my dad play catch with me?"
Because
my
I
dad
hate
would
Your
be
dad's
like,
too bad cleaning all the guns.
my dad would be
He's
like, "Shut up, kid, and turn on that Mario Brothers." Yes,
Hand me,
sir.
hand me a
"Do something
beer.
else. I gotta put together this gun.
Hey, man. At least your dad was in the same house. At least you never waited on the porch with a fishing pole for your dad. Family, it's about time for them to show up so we can go fishing.
No,
That's
I
just-
think my favorite.
That's just going to buy a pack of smokes. Back any
I
day
still
now.
think
Still waiting.
still family. It's about waiting. At least you know who your dad is, because I don't.
Aw. I like that we're one-upsing each other on
Yeah.
our terrible lives.
My dad beat
Yeah.
me. Like, well, my dad beat me twice.
Well, actually, my dad was a pretty rad guy. I'll-
Family. It's about beating.
Yeah, not growing up in Utah. That the idea that there were commercials for the church is crazy.
It was pretty funny. So, speaking of children, somebody tweeted today. My 11-year-old asked me what it was like having a kid, and so I interrupted everything she said until she started crying. And I was like, "That's epic. That's so good."
That's
Oh
a great
my God.
explanation.
Is Logan gotten that bad yet? Because Hank is like right there, and I'm just like, by the time like I have to send him back to his mom's, I'm like, he's going back. He's going back. He's going back to his mom's house. I gotta get rid of him for a little while. I don't. But the sad thing is it's kind of like what you were talking about, Steve, where they piss you off, and then they do one thing, and they're like, "Dad, I love you," or "Dad, you are the coolest," blah blah blah, and you're just like, "Fuck." I can't.
Everything's forgiven.
Yeah.
It's a series of terrible events, and they do one cute thing, and you're like, oh yes, this is why you're adorable.
Fuck.
I know my 2-year-old isn't constantly interrupting me, but he seeks constant acknowledgement. Dad, choo-choos, Dad, choo-choos, Dad, choo-choos. Okay, yes, train. Red train. Red choo-choo. Red train. Yes, I see the red one. Dad, look, there's a blue one. Dad, blue. Okay, yes, I see it.
and then you pick up the train, you throw it at a wall. Fucking broken red train. How do you like that?
I have to say, as a comedian, I totally identify with that. Jokes, funny, love me, hug me.
Yeah, acknowledge how smart I am. Look what I did. Look at the good thing I did.
Witty train.
I'm the same way as a salesman. Look at all the things I sold.
Look at all the things you can buy from me. Look at the deal. Look at the deal.
Oh, anyways, all right. So we're gonna move on and talk about what we have brought for tonight's cast. Plah, it's getting late. I'm gonna fumble through this whole fucking thing. We are gonna do. Tom does the news. I'm not gonna give him a time limit, but I still want him to ramble through it. What was that?
That was me. Excuse me.
Appropriate. I think it was appropriate. So after that, then we are going to get into Entertainment is Dead predicts the future of gaming.
Whoa.
I want to predict your future.
In the year 2000.
It involves porn.
Cleo Chuck here to predict your future. So I stole that. We used to actually do a bit on one of the old podcasts that I was on. Rest in peace, Castroided. We did a Cleo Victor thing. My buddy Victor predicted everything. But we're going to steal that and use it tonight. So first off, Tom, you got your news bit ready.
Oh yeah, I totally prepared for it. You ready for this?
Go.
I'm waiting for it to load.
Maybe
we go.
we should do rapid fire headlines. We all rotate and say a headline.
There you go. PlayStation Vue launched in Chicago, New York City, and Philly today, so you can stream TV to your PS4, PS3, and PlayStation stuff in those cities, which I'm sure will be a huge success because, television.
Slingbox on the Xbox.
Yeah, and guess what the problem with Slingbox is, guys?
It's terrible.
It's still television. Like, I was so excited, and I got the free trial. I paid for a month. I'm like, I'm going to give this a month. It's IPTV, but I still have to wait till 11:30 to watch Aqua Teen Hunger Force. There's no on demand, so who fucking cares? Like,
Did we talk about HBO Go on Apple TV?
Oh, it's coming out on all the things pretty soon, right?
Standalone service.
Yep.
Yeah.
No.
How much is it standalone? $10?
$10.
$10.
Yeah.
No cable provider, no television provider needed.
Yep.
You can just get Game of Thrones and be a badass.
Dude, they're gonna fucking make so much money off that,
and everyone's gonna follow.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's the smart
Everybody's
decision.
gonna. Oh yeah, and then all the other cable providers. Goodbye, cable. I predict the future of cable. Goodbye.
Sports are always gonna have a place
Yeah.
to cable.
Yeah, I mean, sports are really the only thing.
An NFL ticket is always going to be a thing.
I mean, that was the whole.
What's the NFL?
DirecTV. DirecTV has the NFL ticket.
Well, I mean, eventually, it's gonna go that way too. I mean, soccer is definitely not as popular as football, but I have a Roku subscription to just soccer. I don't have cable, but I'm able to watch all the soccer for $60.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't want to have to explain to my parents to buy an Apple TV and to download this app and pay for this service. DirecTV is good for them. They should just stick with that.
But it is going to move to like IPTV, I think, in the future, where you'll be you'll have a set-top box that connects to your internet. It won't be coming over cable anymore.
So basically, what you're telling me is the only reason the cable companies are going to stay in business is because of old people that don't know how the fuck to use other things.
And bundle pricing.
Yep.
It's going to be cheaper to get their crappy cable with your 100 megabit internet.
All right, Tom, keep going.
That's really there's not a whole lot.
Mario Party comes out on the 20th.
Mario Party on the 20th.
Super Mario Brothers Amiibo line comes out on the 20th.
Steve, keep them in line.
DOA 5.
I'm filling in the blanks.
The PC build of DOA 5 is going to be a last gen look.
Grand Theft Auto 5 PC next month.
Some
Heist. Grand Theft Auto Heist came out.
Heist came out.
Yeah.
I heard they're broken though.
I heard they're
it's not
fixed.
working.
Oh.
I heard they were broken, and I heard they're fixed.
Adam Sandler's making a movie called Pixels.
I am so torn about that. It has Peter Dinklage. It looks funny, but Adam Sandler ruins everything.
Yeah.
Peter Dinklage, you're so short.
And he has a bullet.
Insidious Chapter 3 has a trailer.
Trailer,
there's a new trailer for that Mountain movie. There's really not a whole lot of good stuff. I guess the real big news would be Nintendo announced that they're going to be making games for mobile.
I didn't even know they had one, or I guess the Pokemon company has one on iPad. I had no idea.
Yeah, but they're going to start doing that as a thing, and they are also now talking about a multi-platform subscription service.
And they confirmed that it's going to be new, unique titles. That they're not just going to rehash old ones.
So it's not going to be Pokemon Traze for the iPad.
Nintendo is finally going to have to release a new...
Oh, wait, do we talk about next gen that they just announced?
They announced there's a new handset being developed, and it's called Project something.
Project NX.
NX.
Yep. But I did not think it was a handheld console. I thought it was a living room console.
I thought it's the next generation of handheld when I read the article. I'll go check it real quick.
Okay. Next gen console, where they specifically want to prove that they can keep up with current date graphics.
They said that about the last one.
No, they didn't. They said
yes,
we don't.
They did.
I thought they specifically said we're not a video game company. We're a toy company.
When they first announced it, they were like, "And this will keep up to date and blah." And then they came back and said, "We're not a video game company. We're a toy company."
Which is true.
Is Cassie vacuuming right now?
She is steam mopping. It's not quite vacuuming.
Sorry.
She is keeping my hardwood floors clean. She's polishing my wood.
Heyo.
So you're not gonna get laid now.
So here we go. Their big mobile gaming deal. Nintendo boss Satoru Iwata has also spoken briefly about his next piece of dedicated hardware. It would be Iwata says Nintendo is so very much in the dedicated video game market, and that their next piece of gaming hardware is codenamed the NX. So I guess they never really said whether it's handheld or specific.
The mobile guy talked about it, so you maybe kind of infer that it's mobile.
And in my mind, I just kind of went, it's handheld. But, they did just release that newfangled 3DS XL that I still haven't bought. So
when did the Wii U come out? I still feel like the Wii U is very new.
3 years?
Yeah, it was the first of the current gen consoles, right?
Yeah, so it's like 3 years old now, maybe. Because it got a huge jump on Xbox and PS4. I want to say at least a year.
Yeah, it got a huge jump because it was on 360 and PS3 graphics, on comparison.
Yep.
I'm super stoked for Mario Party to come out. I'm going to be drinking tequila and whiskey and beer and playing Mario Party.
I'm glad because that's the only way that game is stomachable.
Oh, shots fired.
First of all, I am impressed. Stomachable? That is the best word I've ever heard.
That is some George W. Bushery there.
That's
it is stomachable.
I should have said palatable.
So
Mario Party is a great couch co-op game. I love it.
It's just so...
Yeah, if you've had lots and lots of alcohol and can actually stand
they've
what the
done
fuck's going on. I mean, I can stomach
the
the fucking Lego movie after 3 or 4 drinks. So, I mean,
everything is awesome.
Steve, let me ask you this. Do you watch Rocky 10?
Which one's Rocky 10?
I don't know. I just made up a Rocky number.
Stuff.
I don't think there's a Rocky 10.
What I'm saying is
5.
there's so much. There's a thing called too many sequels, and Mario Party, in my mind, is reaching that point.
Why don't you say about Final Fantasy? Oh, speaking of which, did you see the summons in that trailer?
Yeah, those are fucking crazy.
Giant God Thunder dude?
Yeah.
That looks cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean,
Speaking
it's
of
not,
which,
I don't even know where the
it's
fuck
not a
this is
sequel.
going.
It's a continuation of a franchise.
I'm about to kibosh what's going on right now because it is just getting fucking...
Steve, you should play Final Fantasy 14 with us.
Okay.
All right.
Okay, cool.
Moving on.
PC?
We're playing on PS4, but you can play on PC and we can all chat.
Ooh, okay.
Okay.
We'll figure out a chat thing.
In order to keep Arthur awake and to stop talking about useless shit, this is why
You said to talk about the news.
Says the guy that bought Battlefield Hardline, like one of the lowest reviewed games of the month. Oh!
Why would you play that game? That's so dumb.
Yeah, who buys that game on an impulse?
This is what I hear. Guys, I just bought Battlefield. Don't be left behind. This game sucks. I've gotten into one game in 3 hours. Don't get left behind. I can't get into
man, that was me. So I sent this text out to I have a mass group for Destiny because you can't just raid with randoms in that game, which is completely. It makes a great point. So I sent out this message as being an asshole. I'm like, don't be left behind. Be part of the evolution and don't be left in the dust or something. And then an hour and a half later, I can't get into a fucking game on Battlefield. And so I'm like, yep, still can't get into a game. It has Master Chief Syndrome.
When we were discussing during Final Fantasy tonight that our Destiny raid group pretty much fell apart. most of the main raiders haven't even logged onto their PlayStations in 5 or 6 days. Like most of the guys that were doing the raids. So I'm kind of glad I made the game switch when I did.
You know what
I wish I could be
about
more like
Xbox?
Arthur and boycott Destiny a long time ago before I gave him $35.
Yeah.
So now I'm gonna get sucked back in for nothing to play House of Wolves, and I have no desire to even play it. Like it's lost all appeal to me, and I don't know why.
The thing that's I'm glad with the Destiny raid is I've done it enough now with enough people that I have like I can easily fill a raid spot on Xbox now. Just from this group and this group, I can pretty easily find 5 other people to do it because the new raid is so fast, and I'm a big fan of it.
Yeah, I mean, we do Crota in like 45. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's not a huge commitment compared to the first raid.
Yeah.
Well,
And
that's. Oh, sorry, Steve. Go ahead.
No, I really enjoy helping new people. Like it's fun, like explaining the mechanics and running through it all. So I have friends kind of like Tom who haven't done it all a whole bunch. So I like Sherpaing those people. I like having a flock.
Sure thing.
The problem
Cheers.
is I got Sherped like 10 times. So I'm kind of over it. But that doesn't matter because now we're playing Final Fantasy 14,
And it's awesome.
and my Paladin's going to be the best.
And my healer is gonna heal all the bars.
When does
Yeah.
Final Fantasy 15 come out?
A while, way off. They're still like showing like pre-alpha footage. I think
I don't know. It's pretty footage.
it's very pretty, but I mean, I think there's a lot of stuff that needs. But I think we're next year. I think we're 2016.
Kingdom
See
Hearts 3. Any
I haven't. Not that I've seen recently.
still Square Enix, right?
Yep.
Speaking of MMOs, Arthur was talking about this the other day, and I happened to catch some streams on Twitch of people playing Guild Wars 2. And Guild Wars 2 has an expansion coming out, and I'm considering going back if they don't up the hardware too much for the expansion.
Excellent.
Yeah.
And this is why I'm mad at you because we're all playing Final Fantasy 14,
Oh,
and
Is
then
it
you're
free?
gonna go by no.
how much does it cost?
Oh, do you guys hear about Elder
it's-
Scrolls?
$20
gonna buy it
on
for me?
PC. Elder Scrolls is
I
going
did.
free to play, right?
Yeah, free
Yeah,
to
it
play.
did on
Yeah.
PC, but not console yet.
Yeah.
Well, it will be free to play when it comes out on console, though.
Okay, I thought it was already out on console, but
It's not out on console yet.
okay.
It's been out forever on PC, and they switched it to free to play, and they're like, we're still working on the console versions, which sucked
So-
in my opinion.
But I mean, you can just buy the game for console, and then honestly, the console version of FF14 is really solid.
Yeah.
Like the way they use the touchpad for the interface, the way you can jump through menus, it's really really handy. And the way they have, so you map your buttons, you hold R2, and then you've got, square, triangle, circle, and X, then left, right, up, down on your D-pad. And if you hold L2, you have that same set of buttons. So you can map
It's like
16.
weapon wheels, right?
Yeah, but sort of. Yeah, you map these 16 commands, and when you start getting into like job systems and cross job, like I just found out today that since I leveled a conjurer first, then I switched jobs to a guardian. Is it a guardian? Yeah, I'm a guardian, right? What are they called? Gladiator. Then I can basically I have protect spells, I have a heal spell, so I'm basically a self-healing tank, which is super fun.
OP.
OP,
Nerf.
son.
Nerf them.
Mm-hmm. Anyway.
I will say though, the thing with Guild Wars is that I've reinstalled it too, getting ready for the expansion, and it's free after you pay for it, the game. So
Yeah.
it can always sit
Oh,
on your
really?
PC and
Hang out.
yeah, and so even if you're not playing it a whole lot, there's not a whole lot of like
Is it-
pressure to play it, right?
So is it still like armor driven or is it end game driven? Because I remember the first Guild Wars was very much like your whole purpose was to get like weapon sets basically, and once you did that, you were kind of done. Which Destiny, a lot of MMOs have gone that route. But is there a lot of like content to see game wise as well? Is there a lot of world to explore? Is it pretty massive?
A lot. I mean, that's the thing is you actually get EXP for exploring, so you don't have to just craft or kill like quest. You can actually get EXP for just seeing the whole world, and so
I think I played to like level 16 or 18 or something, and I liked it a lot. The problem that I was having with it is I didn't know anybody playing with it first off.
exactly that's kind of the same thing with Final Fantasy and a lot of other games that are just super vast and interesting, but they're just still when you're playing by yourself and you don't know a lot of whole people.
Yeah. Because when I was reviewing it, I got decently high level, but I didn't have anyone to play with, so I walked away.
Yeah.
And then when Arthur jumped in, Jacob jumped in. It's very different when you're sitting in a chat room with all your buddies. And even if we're not if we're leveling different characters and we're in different sides of the game, we're still talking shit and having a good time. So it makes it I think it makes it worthwhile.
So Chuck Sweat, even if we're not playing together on the same server, we'll just talk over Steam and we'll play some Guild Wars.
Gotcha.
Now I kind of want to log into Steam and see how much Guild Wars 2 is.
Did you guys see the newest StarCraft 2 expansion entered closed beta?
Oh, I did not.
Is it the
Yeah.
Protoss one or?
I have to pull up the article.
It's the Protoss.
Yeah, so it just entered a closed beta. So that's pretty exciting.
That's way awesome. I don't play the StarCraft competitively, but I love the single player story, so I'll be jumping all over
I love the
that.
game. I'm just terrible at it. It's super fun though.
And then Blizzard will have it released in 5 years.
Yeah, it'll probably come out after Overwatch.
Well, at least they have a lot of shit in the pipeline now. That's the one thing is it's really frustrating. There was that span of time where Diablo 3 kept getting pushed back. StarCraft 2, I think StarCraft 2 was out or was coming out or something. It was just a big dry spell. I felt like I went to BlizzCon that year and got to play Diablo 3 or a couple years before Diablo 3 came out, and just fucking craved that game for the longest time. Anyways, moving on.
That's one thing. As a company, I think Blizzard has like the longest term plan, right? They have so many different titles and things like that and expansions that I think that they have a good long term plan.
They've got the money to do it now.
Yeah.
So when did Guild Wars come out? Guild Wars 2.
Oh,
It's been a while, right?
It's
2-3
been
years?
3 years, yeah, but
It's still $40.
well, you
I
buy
mean-
the game, you don't have to buy expansions.
Yeah, you don't have to pay a sub, so that's how they make their money is through their in-store items and the actual software itself.
Oh, so they've got microtransactions as well.
They do, but as far as I know from what I've seen, it's all like aesthetic based. It's not like pay to win or anything like that.
That's cool.
All right, so we're gonna move into predicting the future of gaming. I kind of left this open ended. I was talking to Arthur about it earlier, and really, I mean, you could predict whatever portion you want, and I can kind of start this off, and we can kind of tail off, attach whatever to that if you want, or does somebody else want to start? I don't care.
No, start it off, man.
I'll go for it, man.
So I've been really thinking about a few things recently because, man, I know you're talking shit on Battlefield, but I kind of like the direction it's going, even though the guys that created Dead Space created the newest Battlefield, which I find weird.
See, but at the same time, they've got a good track record of games. Like, it's not like they've only created one or two games. I mean,
yeah, they did. They did
I don't
all.
think Dead Space 3 was very good.
Yeah, but Dead Space 1 and 2 were excellent.
Yeah,
they
were
and
so good.
Dante's Inferno had its problems. I
Yeah.
think what else Visceral did that was really solid.
I think they just did those four. I think that's
Oh,
it.
Visceral did something
Yeah,
else.
they did something else. I think you're right. But anyways, so I've been thinking about that, and I've been really thinking about how much I really loved Ori, and I think like what I was talking to Arthur about is I think that platformers have had the biggest improvement in the last, I would say, I don't know, 5-6 years. I mean, there's been some notable titles in the past, but man, I just feel like they've done such a great job. I think of stuff like The Cave. I think of Guacamelee, and then now Ori. And there's all these really great story. Oh, Never Alone was great too. Those have been like my favorite story-driven games. I feel like all these big AAA title companies are making piss poor storylines, and I think it's eventually going to start biting them in the ass. And I mean, these people like Ori launches at $20. That's a steal. I mean, there's been so many good titles that are launching at a lower price point, and they're going to clean house. And eventually, what some of these bigger companies are going to figure out, they'll eventually catch on because they have enough money backing them that they'll figure it out. But I think, and I was talking to Arthur about this, I think that that Battlefield is doing an episodic storyline on purpose, and I think that I haven't looked too hard at it, and maybe something can pull the news on it, but I think they're trying to do the Telltale thing, and they actually have actual physical like real actors doing the parts in it too, which is kind of cool.
Well, and I think the episodic thing is kind of taken off too. I think that's going to be something we're going to see really prevalent for the next few years. I was listening to an interview from GDC of the creator of the new King's Quest game, And so this guy, that studio, they're the same studio that did what the hell did they do? Mr. Winterbottom or Professor Winterbottom and His Curious Tale.
Okay.
Is the game they did. I think it was an Xbox Live Arcade game. One of the earlier arcade games, and they talked about how they will be releasing episodic content for King's Quest, so it will actually be in that same vein of episodic release. I think that's something we're going to see a lot more commonly because...
Is that better than DLC? Is it the same thing?
It feels different.
The problem is that you're not paying full retail price, so like you pay $25 to like Telltale, right? And you get 5 episodes of a game, which is 5 episodes of a complete story, right? So I would rather pay them $25 for a game that takes 6 hours than pay them $60 for a AAA title that takes 6 hours.
Not to mention, like, the thing that I was thinking about too is, I mean, you're paying for this episodic content that isn't developed yet. It's not finished yet, right? So at launch, they're saying, okay, I'm going to give you this piece, and then I'm going to work on this other piece, and I'm going to give you a better developed piece than launching a half-assed title like...
Well, and you get the choice because you can buy it one piece at a time. So you can buy episode
Right.
1, see if you dig it. If you don't go on. Or you can buy the whole series.
Yeah.
Does Ori have multiplayer?
I think Ori and the Blind Forest, is that a multiplayer, Lance?
I don't think so.
Just single?
That's one thing that I see lacking in these super narrative-driven games is multiplayer.
See, but I think, and we've debated this
think you need
before,
to
I think you should pick.
Yeah.
I think if you're going to build a multiplayer experience, build a stellar multiplayer experience. Build an Overwatch. Build a League of Legends. Build a whatever.
I think there's time and place. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Some of those games, it's fine to have both, but yeah.
But I mean,
Yeah,
if you
it's
take a
great.
look at a game like Secret Ponchos, I mean, that's an indie release, and that's all
And it's
multiplayer.
great, too. Yeah, it's a
It
lot
was
of fun.
amazing.
You know what I think, Lance, too, you talking about Ori and the Blind Forest so much, I really wish you'd played Dust and Elysian Tale.
Oh, I think I might have that.
You need to
good.
play it. It's freaking amazing. And it was
Also-
made by like one dude in a garage.
Play Rayman Legends because it's free on Xbox One.
What?
For a second, I thought you said Rain Man Legends, and I was like, that sounds
Rain
like
Man Legends, that's right.
interesting
You
game.
just-
Oh,
it's just
no.
count-
Hey, Dust Elysian Tale was on my list, and I didn't play it. It was an Xbox 360 release and a PC release at the same time, right? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I wanted to buy it at the time, and I think it was part of like a summer sale or a summer
Yeah, you can
release
use
for
it,
Xbox.
every Steam summer sale. It's like $250.
I'll have to pick it up. It was on my list.
It's well worth it, man. It's a great like hack and slash platformer with a lot of content. It's a good solid title. But I think when you talk about the indie stuff, I think one of the big futures we're going to see in that is hey Steve, could you mute your mic? We're going to see a lot of like with the tools coming out, we're going to see better, bigger indie games because they're releasing tools for them for free. I mean, Unity 3D is a huge tool that all kinds of game devs are using. There's also, the Unreal 4 engine coming out for free if you release your game retail, you just pay them a licensing percentage cut, basically. So there's a lot that goes into that, I think.
Did anybody see that that usage of the 3D system where they're doing where you're in a hospital, insane asylum, where it's in
Sounds
Southwest,
terrifying. Tell me more.
South by Southwest. Sorry.
That sounds terrifying. Tell me more.
Oh yeah, so it's at South by Southwest right now, and it's basically like they sit people in a wheelchair and put the VR headset on them, and then it's like a 5-minute like go through an insane asylum with like ghosts and like creepy fucking shit, and then I don't want to give any. Well, they give it away in the thing I was reading, but at the end of it, you die. like, I mean, you get a little bit closer to a nightmare anywhere.
And that's my question too. Like, what do you guys think, like VR wise? Like, every time I see this stuff, I want it to be the real deal, And I've heard a lot of hands-on experiences from multiple sources. The PlayStation blog that talked about their VR experience. I can't remember the name of it right now. And multiple lists of journalists that have tried the Valve VR, and they keep saying like having it on is completely different than just reading about it. Like until you've experienced it, you have no idea what you're talking about. So like, has anybody experienced like early Oculus?
I've used Oculus.
What are your thoughts? Like I've used early Oculus, but like this was 2.5 years ago, 2 years ago about.
Well, I mean,
so
it felt very fluid. Like the game that I was using was developed for the Oculus. It was very specific. It was a puzzle game. So I would have to turn my head and line up 2 points, and it would like make a bridge because of my perspective, right?
Oh, okay.
So I could walk on down the bridge and I could pick up a piece and move my head and turn it and pick it up over here. And so, I mean, in that point, it worked really well. I don't see its adaptation to the normal kind of games I play being super useful, right? Like first-person shooter, not going to be super helpful for me, right? Because I constantly want to return to center. It's much easier for me to do that in a joystick than jerking my head over to the side and then looking back this way. I'm going to give myself whiplash.
But what if there was a mechanic where you could? I mean, they could always put extra mechanics to make it a little superhuman, right? Like you could return, because like with PlayStation, I think that plus the PlayStation Eye could do some really cool stuff.
I think there is potential for certain things to work well with it. I don't think everything's going to adapt well, right?
No.
I do not want to play an Assassin's Creed from that kind of perspective, right? I'm going to hurt myself.
I barely want to play it with a controller, so I understand that.
And I mean, I don't think that's ever going to work well for a Pokemon game, right?
Oh man,
platformers, third-person games, they're just not.
I don't know. What if you get to throw the Pokeball and you're like,
What about the rest of the game for the top-down view? What do I do then? I don't want to play. I don't want to
first-person Pokemon.
I don't want to play Pokemon from the first person. It'll take forever. I will be stuck in that flash cave for the rest of my life.
Oh, that fucking flash. Oh, okay, the flash cave in Pokemon would be terrifying. Good point.
Well, guys, as somebody who's never done this at all or played any virtual reality, I think I'm the most qualified to speak on it.
Absolutely.
As a white male, yeah, thank you.
As a white male.
I feel like it's very dangerous. I mean, what about seizures? What about, mom?
I don't think most games have seizure warnings, or consoles have seizure warnings when you power them on. I don't know if you're more inept or more at risk of seizures.
I think you're more prone to throwing up, apparently.
Well, but Valve fixed that with lasers. Motherfucking lasers.
Yeah. Motherfucking lasers.
Like
motherfucking pterodactyls, too?
I've been like, it totally fixes it. Thank God for lasers. I'm like, could someone please explain better to me than just lasers?
Yeah, like no, there's not going to be vomiting because lasers. What?
No, that's not an answer.
It's something to do with like how like your equilibrium, like it helps you feel your equilibrium better or something. Or maybe they bore a laser into your brain and just get rid of the part of your brain that gets nauseous.
Stop caring.
And now I have Parkinson's.
Yeah, I was just about to say, like, somebody's gonna like start reporting cancer, like from VR.
Cancer.
Here's my thoughts on what we're going to see in the future of gaming. I think we're going to see more and more of this cross-genre, like for titles, right? Angry Birds the game became Angry Birds the board game, and then we're going to see Angry Birds the cartoon. More and more video games are going to be the Game of Thrones, right? Hey, did you see Game of Thrones last week? Yeah, man. Are you playing this game? I think more and more, like Mario, everyone knows what Mario is, right? You can ask my parents. They haven't played Mario. Well, my dad has, but my mom hasn't. She knows what it is, though. I think games are going to become more and more of a cultural thing. More acceptable, like, oh, hey, you watch American Idol? Are you playing this game? Have you played this? Did you see this? Did you see the TV series based off the game? And I think we're going to see more of that cross-genre where video games are going to become TV shows and movies and things like that because it's just going to become a cultural thing, right? Rubik's Cubes, Slinkies, video games. It's going to become pornography, right? It's just going to become part of what we do, right? Cell phones, everyone plays games.
Interesting.
So let's take this like 2030 model with flying cars out of it. What do you guys think? E3. What do you guys think we're gonna see at E3?
This year?
It's March, so we got April, May, June. It's in
me.
June. E3's
we're gonna see
June,
me
yeah.
at E3.
You going to E3 this year?
Right? You gonna give me a ticket?
Did you
we're gonna get you a damn ticket.
Did you register 2 months ago?
No.
Have you got a hotel in LA?
I can.
These are things you should have thought of, son. No, LA is sold out by now. But anyway, so June, is E3. I believe it's June. It's not early July this year, right? It's June. I think it's mid-June. What are we gonna see? What's gonna happen? What do you guys think?
Evolve 2.
Oh yeah, probably.
Titanfall 2.
Battlefield. Battlefield 5.
Yeah.
Titanfall 2. COD 18.
Assassin's Creed something.
Yep. I don't think we'll see any big Destiny thing. I think we'll see Splatoon.
Oh yeah, they still haven't launched that. That game looks actually really fun.
Yeah. I think we'll see maybe Star Fox or some other retro-y Metroid kind of game because that's what Nintendo does.
Yeah.
Maybe,
Catching on that nostalgia.
yeah,
Do you think, do you
maybe
think
more
they'll
Zelda.
do you think they'll show like the final build of that robot fighting game?
No,
Like that was the worst.
I think Nintendo will maybe show more Zelda, but I think they'll also bring in. I mean, that's what Nintendo's writing on right now is classics and the feel-good things. I mean, that's why I'm a Nintendo fan. It's because I have these precious memories attached with all the Zelda games and Pokemon and all this stuff, and I'll keep coming back to it as long as they keep producing them at a high quality.
Fair enough.
I think we'll also see I think E3 is like what, three months away?
About April, May, June. Yep.
I want to say it's going to be the VR time, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to have the VR, the Oculus, the PlayStation, the Vibe VR.
The Revive.
What's the HTC?
HTC Revive.
Revive. And
You vibed once, so vibe again.
the HoloLens, right?
Yeah.
I think that might be a little soon for all those, but maybe next year that's going to be the thing, right?
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be VR.
So wait, I want to ask both you guys. Lance, you haven't done any VR stuff, right? You haven't
No.
done any. Okay. The guys who have, is it disorienting? Is it unique, engaging? Like,
So what I did was it was when Oculus. So it was right after they shipped the Kickstarter Oculus stuff, and so it came with like. There's basically the guy that had it. It was at a convention in Salt Lake. It was actually at a Craft Lake City, believe it or not. Shout out to Slug Mag, and basically he just had his PC there, and there were 6 applications you could choose. So I chose the space mission. So basically, you like drop the thing on, and you sit down, and you hold the controller, and then it launches you
Pray
into
to God they
space.
cleaned it after the dirty kid that was on there before you.
Oh, tell you what, it was sweaty
Yeah.
after I got off. But anyway, so you get out, like, you're in space, you're just kind of like floating like over the moon and through planets, and you can just kind of look around and see everything. I mean, this was super early stuff, so it wasn't like the textures were pretty shitty, and like the visuals were like you remember when you go to the planetarium in like the mid '90s, and they'd show you some like shitty CGI laser show of the planets.
Laser Zeppelin?
Yeah, it was like that. But it didn't disorient me. It didn't feel like I was actually there because my eyes were like, "Hey, motherfucker, this looks like you're inside of a computer game." But it felt cool, if that makes sense. Like it was completely immersive, even with bad graphics.
Yeah, I had a similar experience. It wasn't great graphics by any means. Yeah, I didn't feel super submerged into it because like mine was very precision, and it's very hard for me to be very precise with my head. Right, I have never been trained that I need to perfectly line up my head and keep it still.
Yeah.
I had no crosshair control. Right, the right joystick on my controller only did things through the menus and options. Right. So I had no super precise control with this particular application. So it was very kind of, I have to look here and lift it up and move it over here. And, it was weird to not always return my head to straight center, right?
Yeah.
Very often I would shift my body to face the game, right? Which makes sense. It didn't affect me in any way, but that's just the way the world progressed, was in this direction. And it was new, and eventually I got used to it, and it was interesting.
Okay.
My worry is horror games, to be honest. Like I already have to play that shit with like the lights on, windows open, music playing. Like I can't play horror games by myself anyway. So then like these assholes are gonna expect me to put a giant to cover up all of my senses and immerse myself, put on really nice headphones so that the audio is coming in nice and loud, and experience that shit. Fucking way.
I wonder what it takes processing wise to render that, high def. Right? Is it any more than a standard game?
I think that's where cloud processing comes in, though, right? Because if you think about it, like with Steam in-home streaming and the PlayStation Remote Play, that's what they're prepping for. That's what this is. Because then, if they can get a way that your headset connects to, say, Wi-Fi, and they're doing all the processing at your system and just pushing it to your display, then they don't need to, then all you need to have on your head is this.
I think coming from an IT perspective, I don't understand cloud processing enough because that whole idea just sounds super foreign to me.
So, and I don't know the technical side of it, but I mean, have you used in-home streaming? Have you used Remote Play at all?
I mean, I've used stuff like that, but
it's flawless. So, as of right now, it's not totally flawless, but I can tell you that when I played Evolve at 60 frames per second on my MacBook a week ago or 2 weeks ago. with my desktop actually doing the processing in my house, and I was just over Wi-Fi. I wasn't hardwired, and it ran beautifully, right?
So that's not cloud processing. That's remote processing.
So that's what I'm thinking of then. I'm not thinking of cloud processing.
Okay.
Like I'm not thinking like on live. I'm thinking your system is going to handle all the heavy lifting, and they're just going to push the images over your internet connection to your
Type it over?
headset, or
Okay.
either through like a cable. That's
Okay.
And I think it'll work. It'll work amazingly.
Yeah, I mean, what you're saying about the horror games, that's kind of where I'm at too. It's like I don't know that I'm gonna run out to buy anything, but I'll tell you what would fucking suck is I saw a VR for somebody doing a Shark Tank. A fucking like drop down in the Shark Tank thing, and the sharks coming by you and shit, and fuck that shit.
Yeah, I do not want to play Resident Evil in the first person either.
Yeah, no.
Do not.
See,
Love
I mean,
the
you
games.
guys have touched the future though, and I'm old. I'm afraid to touch that, and I'm gonna start rallying against it. Like VR is gonna give you cancer. VR is gonna make it cause seizures.
God damn VR
You know,
kids.
A lot
VR
of
gonna make you shit your pants when you play Resident Evil 1.
I have a nickname for my penis, and it's the future.
I was like,
And a lot
is
of
it Junior?
A lot of people have touched the future.
I've touched the future.
I've seen the
Future is
future. And it was scary.
Funny perspective.
But anyway, sorry.
All right.
No.
Is that it?
That's it. Future of gaming is
I think
scary.
I'm done. Yeah, I'm tired.
So
I
wait,
need to go
let's.
to a nap.
We have a few minutes. Like just real quick, what has everybody been playing this week? Did we already cover that?
No, we didn't. I thought
Okay.
we were kind of doing away with that, but
Just
okay.
a quick thing. What's everyone been doing? Steve, 30 seconds. Go.
Destiny?
Still holding
Friday.
strong.
Holding on.
Oh, not waiting for Mortal Kombat. Finish Majora's
Hell
Mask.
yes, Mortal Kombat.
Working on the Game of Thrones. Telltale didn't play it much this past week. Done with.
How far are they? Are they in episode 3 yet? Is it on?
I don't think so.
They just wanted to.
A little bit of Grand Theft Auto 5.
I didn't know you had that.
Nothing new. PS3.
Oh.
PS3.
Okay. All right, fine.
You should get Final Fantasy 14 for your PS3 because then you can just do PlayStation Party chat with us. Lance, what have you been playing?
No, move to Arthur.
Arthur, what have you been playing?
Lance needs to prepare for this question.
I've been playing Final Fantasy 14 with a certain Jacob and Thomas.
Heard of
Couple
those people.
Ruffians. They're
their
ruffians.
dicks.
They have nice dicks, and they're ruffians. I've been playing Darkest Dungeon some more, which we talked about last time. Still an amazing game. Love its guts. And I just bought Battlefield Hardline tonight, and I played 5 minutes of it, and those 5 minutes were amazing. Got in a car chase.
I
We
forgot.
don't
I've been
care
playing
if you got a
Hearthstone
bad
again.
rating. Huh?
I forgot. I've been playing Hearthstone again in preparation for the expansion.
Oh yeah.
I tried to go back to that. I think I need to get back into it on my iPad so we can battle.
Nice.
Let's duel.
We'll duel. Okay, Lance, you're up.
Okay. So I bought Ori on Saturday, I think, and I was kind of like looking for something different to play. I wasn't exactly looking for that kind of game, but I guess I wasn't realizing what I was getting into either. I've been really debating on getting Diablo for Xbox One. Not really sold on paying $60 for that game that I already own on my PC. So, but anyways, completely surprised by it. I mean, cost, and I mean, you can check out the review on our site. It reminds me. I mean, it's that whole Metroidvania again, but it's done so well. It's so it's beautiful. It's a beautiful game. I don't have any other way to put that, and it's super cute, and it just like I was saying in the review, it totally reminded me of Up in the first 15 or 20 minutes of the game. And I was playing with Hank in the room. I mean, and it's kid friendly, but there's some shit that happens, and Hank's like, "What just happened, Dad?" And he's like asking me all these questions that are a little bit deeper, and I'm like, "Oh well, this thing went on, and this thing happened." And he's like, "Well, is it gonna change?" Nope, these things can't be reversed, buddy. Sorry. But it's really cute. I like it a lot. It reminded me of, and I really liked. I say this, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I really like Never Alone, for different reasons. But this game felt a little tighter. and obviously not quite the same kind of gameplay or anything like that. And then I bought Battlefield. I could not pass up the deal that I was given. I was boycotting Battlefield so hard, really hard. I didn't want to play any more Battlefield. I've had enough of EA. I fucking hate them.
Tell us how you really feel.
I really fucking hate that company. Well, I hate what they've done to some really good franchises, I should say. I still really like Plants vs Zombies, but I've watched them DICE is just murdered. They're a really great franchise, I feel like. But this one is really, really fun. Like I'm having fun so far. I really like what they're doing with it. Minus the fact that I'm having a hard time finding games, but that's about it. The quick match is a little broken right now, but as long as they don't get Master Chief Syndrome for longer than a week, I'll be okay. So, that's it.
Cool.
Tom?
Just Final Fantasy 14 mainly. Been playing some stuff on my Vita, but I've really been thinking about actually picking up Helldivers, because I've heard some amazing things about Helldivers. It's done by the team that originally did Magicka. And then also
what about Holy Diver?
Is that team not making Magicka 2?
It is not. It's a different team doing Magicka 2.
Oh.
And Magicka 2 still looks freaking amazing.
And we're all going to play it. We're going to stream it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we are.
And I'm going to murder you guys. I mean, love you guys.
We're a team.
I think we're going to do it on PC probably is the decision we made for Magicka 2.
I didn't know it was going console. I would only play it on PC.
PS4 and PC.
Yeah, PC.
So I think we'll go PC so we can all play together. But
hashtag Master Race.
Hashtag Master. But the other thing I'm thinking about is Jamestown Plus for the PlayStation. It's like a bullet hell shmup. And I fucking love those games. So I'm pretty stoked. But really this week has been Final Fantasy 14 all day, every day. Got to get that paladin to level 50. So got some work to do.
And so basically Tom's going to shut off his copy of that for like a day. I'm going to buy it, and then magically I'm going to pass him up in a week.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Challenge accepted.
Is this going to be another Lance gets shut down on his face? IDAR moment?
No, but really the track record really is. We can look at the track record for...
The track record since I've been around has been Tom 1, Lance -1.
Listen, just because I kicked the crap out of you, Master Chief, does not mean that you have the right to throw Tom around saying he...
See, that's just more proof that you're over-exaggerating. You won by one match in Halo Master Chief.
I won. A win is a win is a win.
Correct. You did win.
And with that, in the immortal words of Tom Winkley, and with that, we're going to call this a night.
I'm Walter Cronkite. Something.
That's the way the cookie crumbles.
Good night and good luck.
Good luck night.
Good luck, have fun. GG, no re.